Hey, hi, hello, welcome back to my channel. My name is Jess, and today, obviously, I'm talking about series. Oh, the life of a sci-fi fantasy reader is series. So, I'm in the middle of quite a few series, and so I just sat down and took a minute to think about all of the ones that I was in the middle of that I do plan to continue, at least with the next book. It's a bit much. It's a bit much. It's slightly overwhelming. I'm gonna get to them eventually, hopefully. But anyway, let's just talk about it, talk about my feelings, why I haven't read it, if it's even out. You know, all that good stuff. Let's get it popping. Technically, by the time you see this, I will have started the first book, so I will be in the middle of the trilogy, and that is the Live Ship Traders trilogy by Robin Hobb. Also currently in the middle of the Wheel of Time series. I've read 3 out of, I can never remember, 14, 15 books? I've read 3 of them. I was supposed to read the 4th one in January, and yeah, it just hasn't made its way onto my TBR. I haven't given up yet because I just heard a lot of encouragement and positive things about the 4th one, where that's kind of like, read that one and that's a lot of people's make or break whether they continue. So I want to give that one a try. I just haven't worked it in to my reading plans. So we're gonna get there. And then I'll know if I want to continue or if I'm just gonna be like, you know what, never mind. It's not for me. But we'll see. Okay, so all right. The Sun Eater series by Christopher Riocchio. I don't know how to pronounce his last name. The first one was Empire of Silence, which I talked about in my February wrap up, which started out so strong, ended relatively strong, but there was like 50% that was in the middle that was a drag. Their books were like 900 pages, but I already own the 2nd and 3rd one because I have sense. And so I feel like I want to at least give the 2nd one a try. If I'm feeling the dragging energy, I'm not gonna force myself through the whole thing and I'll just know this series isn't for me. But because of the beginning and the ending of Empire of Silence, and because I already physically own it, I'm going to give it a try. And that one's called, it's somewhere. And of course, I have it right over there, but the spine is turned away. It's called something. I'll put it up here. That's the next one. It is like, oh my God, it's so thick. But again, I will not force myself to finish that one if I'm not enjoying it. I'm just gonna let it go and know that the series isn't for me, and then I will just have to unhaul those books and be done with it. Oh man. Talking of thick ass books, Stormlight Archive by Brandon Sanderson. I have read the first 2 and I started Oathbringer, which is the 3rd one, last year, and then I got into this epic fantasy slump, so I obviously didn't finish it. There are currently 4 out in that series. Rhythm of War came out, I don't even know, 2020? 2021? I can't even remember. But there's 4 out, and then the 5th one I think is gonna come out next year, and that will be the first arc because it is a 10-book series with 2 5-book arcs. So I've been going back and forth of whether I should read Oathbringer, read Rhythm of War, and then just, you know, be on the anticipation train with everyone else. But then I also am like, if I read them now, I'm probably gonna need to reread them because I felt like I enjoyed them. I didn't love them as much as I thought I was going to, just from all of what other people have said about them. But I was like, they are definitely something I could see picking up more information on a reread. So I was like, well, maybe if I just wait until next year and slowly read those 4 through the year, if, you know, the 5th one comes out towards the end of the year. But now this whole year of Sanderson with the Kickstarter books, I don't know. I don't know. I want to get to it. I don't know. I just was jealous of all the people who were excited about Rhythm of War coming out. I'm like, I really wasn't because I hadn't read the other one. So I want to take part in that excitement. We'll have to see. I'll revisit this thought when we get a release date for the 5th book and then see how I'm feeling. But yeah, the first book starts at 1,000 pages and they get longer. So it's just, I can't be reading and rereading these all willy-nilly. Like, this takes strategic planning. It's a lot of pages. So I gotta come back to that one. Also, Mistborn Era 2, also by Brandon Sanderson. So I've read all of the books that are currently out. The final one in Mistborn Era 2, so is the fourth one or the fifth one? I forgot how many I've read so far. But the final one in this era comes out in November. And I am so excited because I loved the last one. And then of course, Sanderson will do other things, and then eventually there'll be Era 3, which I'll be really excited about. But at least I'm up to date with that one. I'm excited about it. I know there are a lot of people who don't love Era 1 or Era 2 as much as Era 1, and I just think they're very different, and I love it for what it is, and I enjoy wax and wane, so I'm so excited. Me and Angela were talking about maybe doing like some kind of read-along leading up to the release, because I probably could hit the audio and just refresh myself. But yeah, I feel like that's far away, but with the way time is passing, it'll be a few months or a few moments and we'll be talking about it. It comes out in November. I'm not ready for it to be November already. Holy crap. The Greenbone Saga. I am currently reading I am not finished with the series. My battery's gonna die. I don't have the energy for this. Do I really want to change my battery? Do I have a choice? Sorry about that. My battery's always dying. Anyway, I'm also making my way through the Expanse series that inspired The Expanse on Amazon. So I'm like watching the show and reading. I've read the first 3 and I already put in my request at the library for the 4th one. And I'm hesitant to, I have the first 2, I own the first 2 physically. I'm hesitant to buy them all because I want to wait and see if they're going to release like a box set of the paperbacks. So even though they're like the big orbit floppy paperbacks, which I love. So anyway, I'm waiting on that one. And then in the show, I have like 1 or 2 more episodes to watch that goes with up to the end of book 2. And then I have the rest, then I have book 3 to watch. I'm trying to like read first and then watch, but anyways, the 3rd book wasn't my favorite. It didn't spend enough time with my crew on the Rossi, but I've heard that we get more time with them in the 4th one, so I shall continue. Overall, they're enjoyable space opera books, so unless it's like really terrible, then I'll stop, but so far I've been enjoying my time with them, so I shall press on. I mean, haven't been reading one a month or one every other month, so I mean, on this trajectory that I'm on, I could possibly finish the series this year. That would be impressive because I rarely read things back to back. And this isn't really back to back because I'm kind of like reading one a month, couple weeks, reading another one, but still. In the, like 1 calendar year, that would be amazing. The Will Trent series by Karen Slaughter. So this is a mystery crime fiction series. I have read 5 or 6 of them. And she's still currently writing. I think either another one just came out or let's see. The last one came out in 2020 and that was the 10th one. And I have read through number 6. So I could catch up and I don't know. I don't see that there's anyone scheduled. So I don't know if the number 10 was the final, if it's done or if she plans to write more in that series. But I did hear a rumor that it's being optioned for a TV show, which makes me excited. But if she does continue writing that series, I'll be very happy because I love Will Trent, the series, and him, the character. So yeah, I thought I had more to go, but I actually don't. So I wonder, now I need to investigate to see if she plans on continuing or if that's done. But in the middle of that one, which is one of the few sci-fi fantasy series that I'm in the middle of. Also, obviously Amari and the Knight Brothers, there's only one out. The 2nd book, The Great Hunt, The Great Game, was supposed to come out in February, then it got pushed back to like July, and now I think it's coming out in September. Hopefully it comes out this year. I am anxiously awaiting that one. Definitely want to reread Amari, the first one, and then read this one. And I don't know how many books that one is planning to be. I will take as many as BB wants to write, but I am so... I'm very much excited for that one. So in the middle of that, Nevermore, I read the first one, I loved the first one, and then I just never continued. I have the first 3 now, but now there's a 4th one that's coming out. So of course, in my mind, I'm like, well, just wait. till closer to the date of the fourth one coming out, reread the first one, then read the second and third, and then read the fourth one. I don't know why. I don't give my mind enough credit. I don't forget things that easily, but I'm just like, wait till it's closer. So I've heard great things that the books just keep getting better, and I loved Nevermore, the first one. So I know that I'm going to continue to enjoy the other ones. I just haven't gotten to them, but they're really fun middle grade series, and so I'm very excited to continue with those books. I was looking on my shelf, and this one I haven't read a book in so long, but I have started it, so it counts. And that is the Witchlands series by Susan Dennard. I think that's the name of the series. So I've read, and I have the first two, which is Truth Witch and Wind Witch. And I think that there's definitely like a 3, a 3.5, a 4, a 5. I don't know how many more books. There's at least like 3 or 4 more books already out, and maybe 1 more coming out. I'm not sure. I liked them. I didn't love them, but I did like them enough that I would, you know, read the rest of the books. And then I've heard really good feedback from the people who have read them. And Susan Dennard just seems like a nice person. So I want to read them. I don't know if I would buy them, but I definitely want to continue in the series. But I definitely would have to reread those two because I feel like I read them in maybe 2017, 2018. So I remember this much about them. But you know, maybe I could work that in one day. Back to Brandon Sanderson, Skyward. I am caught up. Well, I lied. I was gonna say I'm caught up in this one, but so there are 3 books out and 3 novellas, and I haven't read one of the novellas that came out after Cytonic came out. So I need to read that one, and then the next book, which I think is the final book, unless he continues in the series, comes out next year. So I have 1 novella available, and then the book that comes out next year. I was a little disappointed in Cytonic. I didn't love it as much as I enjoyed the first 2, but I do want to see how he wraps it up. Again, if this is the final book, which I think it is, but I don't know if he's doing any more in this world. So I really enjoyed the novellas, so I'm intrigued to read the 3rd one because I know we get a certain character's POV with something that happened to them at the end of one of the novellas, and I've been like, but I just haven't gotten back to that. So yeah, I need to catch up there. I'm also technically in the Between Earth and Sky, which is the Black Sun books. So Black Sun, which I've already read. Fevered Star comes out in April, so next month, I think. I was thinking, I mean, I read Black Sun last year, and I thought that the sequel was coming out last fall. That's why I read it, and then it didn't. So I still remember a lot of things, but again, I might get the audio, give it a re-listen before Fevered Star, which I've heard that the pacing isn't as great as the first one. However, I thought the first one's pacing was a little slow to begin with, and then it really ramped up. So I'm wondering how I'm gonna do with Fevered Star, but regardless, I'm gonna read it. Am I gonna buy it? I don't know. The cover's hideous, but I'm definitely gonna read it. And I don't know how many books there's supposed to be in that. I don't know if it's a trilogy or more. I don't know. I've got The Dead Djinn Universe by P. Jelly Clark. I need to read A Master in Djinn, which I've had on my shelf. It's kind of an embarrassment that I haven't read it. There are like 2 short stories / novellas before it that I really liked, and so I want to read this. And I don't know. I don't think he's announced. I didn't see on Goodreads any planned sequel after this, but if there is, then that will just put me more behind. So I need to read this one because I just do. Like, imagine being caught up on all the series you're reading. Can't relate. I also have Murderbot. I've read 3, 4. I think I've read 4 of the Murderbot, and I think number 5 is actually a full-length novel because the rest are novellas. And so I've kind of just put that off because I'm like, ooh, novel, and I don't know how I'm gonna feel about that one because I love Murderbot as a character. And the first one is still my favorite story so far. And the other stories haven't given me exactly what I want, but like the concept and like Murderbot, love Murderbot. So I'm gonna continue. Like, they're quick and fun, but I just haven't pressed forward because of a whole novel. I don't know how long it is, but I will get there. Magic of the Lost. I don't even know what that is. Why did I put the name of the series like that? What's Magic of the Lost? I don't know. Oh, this is the one by C.L. Clark, The Unbroken. I did read this, was it last year? I don't know. I think this is a new author, and it was a fantasy set in Northern Africa, and it had promise. I was disappointed in some things. The pacing wasn't my favorite, and it definitely is a story where magic is gone. And so I realized I don't love those stories because I want magic. I want to see how they use magic and interact and what the rules are. But I think that maybe the next one we may get more magic. So I'm willing to give this author one more shot with the next book, but I don't think it comes out till next year. So we'll be waiting for that one. But I gave the first one 3 stars, and hopefully we'll see some improvement in the second one. Okay, technically, like, put an asterisk beside it. I'm in the middle, or I'm in the Actuar series because that's an ongoing, I don't know how many books she's gonna write. And I'm waiting to see if she's going to do a book from Lucien's perspective. I know it's supposed to be Lucian, but if I don't say it that way. His name is Lucien and he's my baby. So I'm waiting to see if she's going to give Lucien the book that he deserves, because I will read it. If not, most likely I won't. Although I said that about A Court of Silver Flames, but someone bought it, so I read it because, you know, they spent their money. Nah, whatever. So I'm waiting to see what she does next with those books. Who's it gonna focus on? And then I'll decide if I'm gonna be continuing. Another one with like an asterisk is Dune, because after I read it, I didn't hate Dune, but I also didn't love it. And I know there were a lot of people who said, well, you have to read Dune Messiah to get like the full story and full like kind of arc for Paul. And I was like, okay, I'm willing to do that. As the more time that goes between when I read Dune, I'm just like, So I don't know, because I'm not rereading Dune. I remember enough that happened. I'm not rereading it. So like, if I'm feeling froggy, maybe I will go for Dune Messiah, but I know I'm like a 98% sure I will not continue beyond that. So it's really just that one book. And then I'm even kind of like, I mean, I could, you know, but do I want to? I don't know. Iron Widow. This one was so good, took me by surprise, a young adult sci-fi book. The ending has me like, oh my gosh, I don't know when the next one is. I haven't heard an announcement, but I wanted now, put it in my pause. I just had so much fun with that one. And like I said, the ending was like, give me the next one. And so I want to support authors that are coming out. But then it also stinks when you have to wait for books to come out. But then it also makes me feel better because I'm like, well, technically, I mean, I'm in the middle of this series. It's not finished yet, so that's not my fault. The ones that have been out for years, those make me feel bad. Are we at the end of this list yet? Jesus. Other ones I haven't read from in a while, but I just threw in here at the end. King of Scars. I read the first one, 2 stars, but I do want to see what happens. It's only a duology, Rule of Wolves. I'm not going to buy it. It keeps coming in from the library, and I keep hitting delay, like, 60 days. I just want to read it to see what happens. Heard mixed things, but it's not high on my priority list. The Ninth House books with Galaxy Stern. Another thing where I really didn't like the book. I gave it 2 stars, but my favorite character, I want to know what happened to them. So I'm going to read the next one, and I better get answers or I'm fucking done. The Unwind books by Neil Shusterman. I read the first one and really liked it, and then I haven't continued. They're a young adult series that I don't hear a lot of people talk about, but they're really interesting. They're like in a world where you basically like you can't have abortions. You like have to have your children, and if you like drop them off on someone's front step and they like don't see you, then like they have to keep the baby. It's basically like they've been stalked. And then also if you keep your child but you don't like them by the age of like 16, you could basically have them unwound. So it means like basically killing them and like repurposing all of their like body parts for other people. So like, oh, this person lost an eye, and they would put that eye over there. It's very interesting. And so I definitely want to continue with those. I think there's 4 or 5 books, I can't remember. But yeah, I don't know why I didn't, because I was like, oh, this is so different and so like, you know, morbid, but I liked it. So I need to get there. And then finally, The Dark Artificers by Kathy Clare. I read the first one and really liked it. Really liked the family element that was there. And I did read the second one, but to be honest, I read the first one physically and I listened to the second one and I don't really remember what happened. And then I started the third one and I never finished it. So I need to go back and reread the second one and then read the third one because I just would like to finish. Do I own them? I own at least one. I just like the spines. I like all those matching spines. And I do have the next one in the, I don't know, whatever, one of the next one, the latest one she's been putting out. I can't think of the name. I do have those because they're not the best written things, but some of them are fun. Now the Mortal Instruments, ugh, but the other ones have been better for me. I really loved the Infernal Devices, so I do want to catch up with these because she's just always putting out stuff and I'm like, God damn, give me a break. Anyway, I didn't think that would take so long. I'm in the middle of a lot of series, and then I was going through other ones. I have a whole nother list for series that I no longer want to continue, and I was gonna put it in this video, but this is already too long, so that'll be a separate video. Anywho, are you in the middle of any of these series? Or how many do you know? Like, I don't even know. I would have to count these to see how many series I'm in the middle of. I don't want to count because it's gonna make me feel bad. Also, it's 6:42, and I have reading sprints in 18 minutes, so I'm gonna leave. So thank you for watching. Give this video a thumbs up, subscribe. I would say I don't have the books linked, but they're series link down below. I'll at least list them out down below, but always check out my description. I always have anything that I mention. It's gonna be listed down there. My social medias, ways to support my channel, stuff like that. But I appreciate you. Stay blessed, hydrated, moisturized, and sunscreen, and I'll see you in my next one.